Live. First Alert 4 starts now.
First at 6, a St. Louis family posing questions about a plea deal after a deadly shooting at a North City gas station. This is First Alert 4 at 6. I'm Corey Stark.
I'm Samantha Jones. Tonight, the shooting victim's brother, a prominent attorney, is calling out the circuit attorney's office. He says the deal is a direct result of hiring attorneys who were too scared to go to trial. This is John Christmas. Police say Travell Warren tried to take his gun last June, and after a struggle, he shot Christmas to death at the Crown Food Mart on North Kings Highway. After taking a plea deal today, he's only convicted of involuntary manslaughter and unlawful use of a weapon. He could serve up to 7 years in prison. First Alert 4 Investigates David Amilati spoke with the victim's brother.
Travell Warren's defense says it was an accidental shooting. The prosecution says it's a fair plea deal based on evidence. In court Tuesday, prominent criminal attorney Gerald Christmas sounded off as the victim's brother, saying the circuit attorney's office is sending a message that if you shoot a black person on the city's north side, you can get a plea deal.
It's ludicrous because they make it appear that he's a good Samaritan coming up to intervene.
Gerald Christmas not mincing words outside the civil courts building in downtown St. Louis after he says Travell Warren, the man who killed his brother John Christmas, got off easy.
Justice was not served. This was an injustice. For them to give him this type of sweetheart deal on a homicide means that the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office does not care about black victims.
He says the family was left in the dark about a compromise getting hashed out.
No, we weren't notified at all. We didn't get any notification until 24 hours before they were getting ready to do the plea deal.
There have been questions whether Warren should have been on the streets at all. According to court records, he served prison time for felonies in the past and was charged in April last year for 2 counts of illegal possession of a gun. Warren was released on bond and given a GPS monitor. Records show 4 reported bond violations stemming from that GPS monitor in May. He also missed a court date. Yet on May 31st last year, Judge Catherine Durker released him on bond with that GPS ankle bracelet.
Yo, so listen. Y'all asked for this. Y'all said it's too many black men in jail. The criminal justice system is too hard on black men. He said that, you know, the white man is gobbling up young black bodies in the belly of his criminal justice system beast. And we need some relief. They gave it to you. This is what it looks like.
Compromise getting hashed out.
No, we weren't notified at all. We didn't get any notification until 24 hours before they were getting ready to do the plea deal.
There have been questions whether Warren should have been on the streets at all. According to court records, he served prison time for felonies in the past and was charged in April last year for 2 counts of illegal possession of a gun. Warren was released on bond and given a GPS monitor. Records show 4 reported bond violations stemming from that GPS monitor in May. He also missed a court date. Yet on May 31st last year, Judge Catherine Durker released him on bond with that GPS ankle bracelet. The circuit attorney's office did not contest his release. 2 days later, police say he killed Christmas, which is why his brother on Tuesday said the circuit.
See, those woke types, they got in their mind that some of these were good guys. Some of these brothers that was getting caught up in the system, like the majority of them were great guys. And they were just in there because they black. And now they learning that it was a lot of black people in jail because for a fucking reason. And a lot of brothers was getting caught up in the system over and over again for a fucking reason. Now the white man said, all right, y'all, we gonna go easy on them. And now niggas is complaining about that and saying that that's racism. Hit the like button, man. Sponsor the show, man. We trying to get some likes in here early, man.
Contest his release. 2 days later, police say he killed Christmas, which is why his brother on Tuesday said the circuit attorney's office is a contributing factor in his death.
If Kim Gardner had done the same thing, same situation with a white victim, all hell would be breaking loose right now.
Christmas says the circuit attorney.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. When the last white person criminal justice case where a white person allegedly got screwed over that the United States broke hell loose about? Anybody? When was the last time some white person allegedly got screwed over legally and all hell? Donald Trump got screwed over. He got all these charges put and all hell didn't break loose. And he's the most important white man in the country, and all hell didn't break loose. They just let it go. They just let him keep charging him with bullshit and convicted him on bullshit, one after the other. All of the prosecutors that did it were black, and all hell never broke loose. He just got charged with a bunch of shit and convicted on a bunch of shit. And he's the most powerful white man in the country. What is this guy talking about?
Why his brother on Tuesday said the circuit attorney's office is a contributing factor in his death.
If Kim Gardner had done the same thing, same situation with a white victim, all hell would be breaking loose right now.
Christmas says the circuit attorney's office doesn't have concern for black victims and their families, and newer hires of the office are scared to go to trial.
You don't think that the people that Gabe Gore has been bringing into the office in the last 18 months or so are qualified?
That's why you have pleas going up, because they don't want to take the stuff to trial. They're not trial attorneys. And you need to be a trial attorney if you're going to be in the prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor Tim Wright said in court Tuesday, the circuit attorney's office goes through a thorough process reviewing cases and making decisions with a committee with more than 106 years of prosecution experience. He said everything was vetted out and that this plea was the best they could come up with. Christmas says his message to victims and their families when working with the circuit attorney's office, stay on them.
Please make sure that you stand up and you speak out and you don't let them shove a plea down your throat the way they did to us today.
On Tuesday afternoon, we received a statement from Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore saying in part, the plea agreement reached in this case was based on information gathered during the ongoing investigation. And after careful review by the most senior members of our trial staff, based on the facts and law, the plea agreement was an appropriate resolution of this case. You can find the rest of that statement online. Meanwhile, Gerald Christmas says he will be filing a civil suit against the gas station where his brother was killed. I'm David Amilati for First Alert 4 Investigates.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, one of the most effective members of Congress, building up a significant following all across the country. And she was also one of the folks who protested the lying speech of Donald Trump with the joint session of Congress. Well, that didn't sit too well with whiny ass Bill Maher.
It's another thing, too. Make sure you hit the like button. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. We in the building, man. Which one is it going to be? Are you a victim of white supremacy and the white man chasing you all across the countryside with pitchforks and torches, or every episode you cussing a white man out from the rooter to the tutor? Because it can't be both no more, man. All these niggas want to get on their channels and cuss white people out from the rooter to the tutor. Talk all type of cash shit about white people, powerful white people, famous white people. But also, we're downtrodden and any white homeless person has a better life than us, and I could be lynched at any traffic stop, and there's sundown towns if I'm driving down 95 south. If I stop at the wrong town, I could get lynched, and the powers that be could make me disappear for saying the wrong thing. And then we go to your channel, and every video you cussing some white person out. You making us dizzy, dog. You making us dizzy, man.
Austin, here's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party, Her quote is, "This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it." On with what would be my first question. And also, this is the way this is like how a podcaster talks or some shit. Fuck it, man. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, "Oh, man, dude, this shit is whack and fuck it. Slap me. I'm fucking over it." I mean, come on, man.
Also, there are
and he skipped over. How many black people who said the same thing has he skipped over to jump on Bill Maher? Give me a number of how many black YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagram stars, tweeters did he skip over to jump on Bill Maher and call this racist? I know I'm one. I know I've been saying this shit, the same exact shit that Bill Maher said. What about, I said the same thing, Roland, roast me, man. Don't leave me out, man. Cuss me out too. I've been saying this shit for a while, man. Oh, you don't watch my channel, man? You don't watch my channel? Well, hopefully somebody send this to you, man, because I want credit for this shit, man. You act like Bill stole my material, man.
There's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party. Her quote is, "This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it." On with what would be my first question. And also, this is the way this is like how a podcaster talks or some shit. Fuck it, man. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, "Oh, man, dude, this shit is whack and fuck it. Slap me. I'm fucking over it." I mean, come on, man.
Also, there are
Talk about bitch assness. That's Bill Maher. Oh my God, what must we do? A member of Congress was actually cursing. You got Donald Trump, who gave a speech calling Colin Kaepernick a son of a bitch. You got the language that he's used. Bill Maher, go to hell, you asshole. My deal, I am so sick of his whiny ass. He wants Democrats to fight. Now he's whining. Hey guys, she's talking like a podcaster. Like, do you know how many members of Congress I've talked to who actually curse? I know preachers who curse. Shut the hell up, Bill Maher. Go smoke a blunt.
He can't smoke a blunt because he is an ass. He's a blunt himself. Listen, a blunt tool for stupidity. Bill Maher, to me, for a long time, has been anti-black. And I know a lot of people say they don't believe that. Bill Maher is racist as hell. This is just a reminder of that. The idea or the audacity of him to have a problem with Jasmine Crockett, who shows up to work more prepared than anybody in every fucking...
That's woke op, man. Woke Ock out here embarrassing himself again, man. Listen, man. Yo. Bill Maher is a racist, man. That's crazy, man. So let me get this straight. Bill Maher is a racist. He's just a flaming racist. He can't stand black people. The sight of them. Just look at that black people. This is his ex-girlfriend, man. This is ex-girlfriend. And I'm not saying that doesn't make you racist, because a lot of you pro-blacks have got white wives, and y'all are racist as hell. All I'm saying is most of the pro-blacks got white wives. Bill Maher has a black, he had a black girlfriend for a long time. He had several black girlfriends, but this is just one of them. And it's just like everybody's racist. Everybody's racist when they like it's just annoying. These people are so annoying, man. These people are so annoying.
Himself. Listen, a blunt tool for stupidity. Bill Maher, to me, for a long time, has been anti-black. And I know a lot of people say they don't believe that. Bill Maher is racist as hell. This is just a reminder of that. The idea or the audacity of him to have a problem with Jasmine Crockett, who shows up to work more prepared than anybody in every fucking committee.
He called her Jasmine Crack.
Problem with Jasmine Crockett, who is the most.
Yo, you just called her Jasmine Crack, man.
Him to have a problem with Jasmine Crockett, who is the audacity of him to have a problem with Jasmine Crockett, who is the audacity of him to have a problem with Jasmine Crockett, who is the most audacity of him to have a problem with Jasmine Crockett, who is the most, who shows up to work more prepared than anybody in every fucking committee she sits on. No one is more prepared than this representative, and I know that. I'm there, I'm watching it. And it's absolutely ridiculous to say something about her saying that when your president talks about grabbing women by their private parts. It's absolutely crazy.
That was a private conversation, my man. You brought up a private conversation that Trump had when he wasn't president and compared it to a sitting congresswoman cussing like a sailor the last 2 weeks every time a microphone's in her face. That woman, I ain't seen one snippet of her the last 2-3 weeks where she ain't been cussing. Not one. Just a foul, potty mouth. I don't even like women that cuss. I don't like my women to cuss. My wife didn't cuss until she met me. Now she cuss all the time. I don't like my women to cuss. That shit is a turn off. I don't like no women. I don't like that shit. That shit's a straight turn off, man. And especially, I don't want no damn congresswoman to cuss. Why the fuck would I? He said she's the most prepared. Shout out to Andy Armour getting the ball rolling, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, sponsor the show. He said Jasmine Crockett. Ridiculous. Sponsor the show, guys, man. This is crazy, man. What they doing, man? Jasmine Crockett, man. Jasmine Crack. We got Joey Crack and Jasmine Crack. They need to do an album together, man. She probably gonna curse more than Joey Crack. Listen to what she said. The most what did he say? The most prepared?
Supremacist. 18. Let me make sure y'all got the facts. Most extreme crimes that take place in this country are committed by white supremacists.
Now listen, man. We all know that is actually the opposite. Most extreme crimes in this country are committed by black thugs and gang members and homies and hoodlums and steppers and real niggas. most extreme crimes in this country. And they like to say 1350, that is 50%. It's way more than 50%, man. I'm sorry, man. I've been doing this for years. Blacks commit the lion's share of violent crimes, especially when we're talking about that happening in public. If that shit happened at the mall, Chuck E. Cheese, Six Flags, the movie theater, a parking lot, club, a house party, a wedding, a funeral, a vigil, a balloon release, a video shoot, a grocery store, a car wash. If that shit happened anywhere in public, it's almost a 95% chance it was a black dude that did it. Press 1.
Let me make sure y'all got the facts. Most extreme crimes that take place in this country are committed by white supremacists. 80% of extreme crimes are committed by white supremacists in this country.
Where the fuck are you getting this from, Jasmine Crack? Jasmine Crockett. Where you getting this from, Jasmine Crockett? Like, and the fact that here's the thing, she cried about racism and shit, but the fact that no one checked her on this and she said it multiple times, and no one ever said, "Hey, Jasmine, love your work. Don't mean to be imposing or anything like this, but I just want to help you because I don't want you to go out here looking crazy and whatnot." Actually, it's the opposite, man. Your stat you use is actually the opposite. It's the other way. Because I don't want you to be out here looking crazy, man. It's like if you got a booger in your nose and you about to go holler at a girl, you gonna want your friend to say, "Hey, man, you about to go holler at Sherry, man? Hey, man, get that booger out your nose before you go holler at Sherry." You're not gonna want your friend to be like, "All right, man, good luck." And I mean good luck. Nobody told her that she was dead wrong because they're so terrified of black women. And she running around here talking about she marginalized and racism. Everybody's terrified of you, woman. They quake in their, they trembling in their shoes when you come around. Because they know any wrong step, you could ruin their career.
That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. That's what's happening right now.
So white people don't want you to have education. When literally white people are begging you to get an education. Please get an education and get the fuck off the streets. Stop turning our beautiful cities like Chicago and Washington, D.C. and New York in the fucking urban jungles, man. Please. The United Negro College Fund, man. Scholarships and shit. All right, nigga, you didn't do well on the SAT, so what, man? We're not gonna your score don't matter. SAT scores only matter for white people and Asian people. For blacks, it don't matter, man. Just take it. Take the test, and whatever you get, man, we gonna work it out, man.
All kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool.
She's awful, man. She's awful. Get back to you, Roland. Oh, this guy, he's still talking. He going off. That's not Roland, man. That's my twin brother, man. That's my twin brother, but he woke, man. He woke, man. That's why I ate all the food in the womb, man. In the womb, I wasn't letting him get no food, man. I ain't let him get no nutrition in the womb, man. Salute the Rabbit Master, man. He said, speaking of mediocre white boys, apparently Jasmine dated quite a few in her younger years and grew up like Hillary Banks. Yeah, that's what she mad, man. The white boy she wanted left her for Heather, man. Heather Montrose, man. And she was mad, man. She ain't never get over
it. Some of the stuff I've heard out of his mouth. Also, he might want to pay attention to the world. Mainstream media, his network ain't where most people are getting their news. They're getting them from people like Roland, who are streaming in different spaces. Digital is real.
Yeah, man, we getting our news from Roland right now, man.
So she understands the climate that she speaks. Also, most of the voters in this country are no longer his age. They're her age. And they absolutely are listening to podcasters. They absolutely are getting their news from other alternative sources. And his problem is she can reach him and he can't. He's been saying the same.
Bill Maher has really good ratings, man. And his monologue goes viral every week. And Jasmine Crockett is getting roasted on Twitter every day. He's called a ghetto hood rat. She's good. She's getting her message out there. She's definitely getting her message out there. White supremacist is carjacking you at the gas station and shooting up your nightclub. White supremacist is pushing old ladies on the track in New York City and shit. And black people are just perfect angels, man. And that's her message, man. And all black people need is for the white man to get his boot off our neck so we can show that we're working 10 times harder than white people, man. We working 10 times harder than white people. Think about this, though. White people are more successful than Hispanic people, right? So if we're working 10 times as harder than white people, we got to be working 20 times harder than Hispanics, man. Think about that next time you pass a work site. Next time you pass a fucking crew repairing a broken water main. Or you see it, somebody, a roofing team putting on a new roof. Think about when you see them little fucking Mexicans up there. Think about black people work 20 times as hard as them. Ain't that crazy? We only work 10 times as hard as white people, though.
And the same bullshit white man speak for so long, and she's new to the scene, and her following is powerful, and he can't stand that. His little white balls are bothered by that.
His little white balls are bothered by that. Pause, man. Let's say pause, man. Come on, twin. I say it for you, man. See, he know I was gonna say it for him, man. We got that type of bond, man. He don't even have to say, he don't even have to complete his sentence. I say pause for him.
It's powerful, and he can't stand that. His little white balls are bothered by that.
Kelly?
I mean, I echo the sentiments of Mondale. I personally, maybe I'm too young to remember, but I don't recall why Bill Maher is relevant at all, why he was ever relevant at all.
He has one of the highest rated shows on HBO. He has a very successful podcast. And listen, I'm not a Bill Maher fan, but I was just answering your question. I'm not a big fan of Bill Maher. He's a liberal who says something intelligent once a week. He'll say something halfway intelligent in a sea of just insanely wicked and debaucherous other things he'll say. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, I'm not going to see him do backflips because he's one of those liberals that occasionally says something intelligent. But that's kind of like his shtick. He's a liberal who occasionally says something intelligent. And he's like Stephen A. Smith or Anna Kasparian. He's playing that role. I'm the bleeding heart liberal who says something intelligent every once in a while. Or something that makes that aligns with most of the common sense Americans. But I'm still a liberal. And the other liberals, they never say anything intelligent. So he just separates himself like that. Shout out to Barry B, man. Barry B every day, every night. Shout out to Barry B every night, man, coming through. Make sure you guys support the channel. Make sure you guys sponsor the show, man. Are we cooking? If we cooking, man, sponsor the show, man. Are we cooking with fire, man?
Of Mondale, I personally, maybe I'm too young to remember, but I don't recall why Bill Maher is relevant at all, why he was ever relevant at all. So let's start there as far as, how much credence I give his words. But also you have to take into consideration that we've also been complaining about the messaging from the Democratic Party. Excuse me.
That's a lie cough, man. That's what you get for lying. You about to lie. You about to say some bullshit. Your body rejecting that shit. Her body's rejecting the bullshit she about to say.
Complaining about the messaging from the Democratic Party, excuse me, essentially being over the head of many of its constituents, meaning, they're too wordy, they sound elitist, et cetera, et cetera. Jasmine Crockett is a very educated Black woman across the board, and she uses language that other people understand. And I can't think of anything that is more effective than that, right?
Yeah, but salute the Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Salute to all you guys that come through every night, man. Really appreciate you guys, man. Set the tone, man. So Jasmine Crockett is very educated. She's so educated that she got a cuss in every fucking time they put a mic in her face, because that's the Democratic Party talking points are too above. They're too sophisticated for normal people, man. We need Jasmine Crockett to break it down for us, man. Okay.
Right? So just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not going to resonate with anybody else. Really, it resonates with everybody else except Bill Maher, apparently.
Not quite. Have you been on Twitter lately, man? Have you been on Twitter lately, man? Huh? Have you been on Twitter lately? See what they've been saying about Jasmine Crockett? Obviously you haven't, man. Let me keep you abreast, man. Go ahead, clear your throat. Get you some water. I'm gonna go to Twitter, man. See what they saying about Jasmine Crockett.
Like, what's that horn? Let me tell you what you guys may not know. She wants you to believe that she's straight out of the hood. Okay. She wants you to believe that she's the star of her own little gritty street drama, but I want you to hold on for a second. There's a plot twist. When it comes to Jasmine Crockett, the actual truth is she's more like a character from a high budget rom-com set in a pristine suburban neighborhood. Let's call it Fresh Princess of Dallas. She attended an elite private day school where the tuition cost nearly $35,000 per year. She ain't from the streets, y'all. This institution, known for very privileged clientele, and it provided her with the level of education and resources that many in lower income neighborhoods that she's trying to relate to could only dream of. So I want you to picture little Jasmine fresh out of her exclusive day school, rolling up to the playground in designer sneakers, ready to take on the world. Meanwhile, kids in the neighborhood are trying to figure out how to navigate the complexities of the ice cream truck schedule. She didn't have the struggle, folks. And then she went over to Rhodes College. Let me tell you what the tuition at Rhodes College is. Any guesses? It's $55,000 a year. Oh, little Jasmine was getting educated. I mean, at $55,000 a year, I half expect her to show up in class in a ball gown, sipping Dom Perignon while discussing Shakespeare and the finer points of avocado toast. But somewhere along the way, she traded her glass slippers for Ebonics. So let's be real. Jasmine is cosplaying a gangsta like she's auditioning for a reality show called Real Politicians of Privilege. Now, we can just imagine her strolling into a meeting wearing a hoodie and an oversized sunglasses while her assistant carries her $500 designer bag filled with organic snacks, rolling in to represent the streets with the mocha latte and the stock portfolio. So when she TikToks to they not like us, the fact is clear. No, she ain't nothing like us.
Look at her. She was such a sweet little angel here, man. You know what, man? Shout out to Big Larry in the building. You know what, Black America wouldn't have accepted this, though. I do have to be sympathetic, man. Black America would not have accepted her like this. They would not have fallen in love with her. She would not have been the black girl next, the Black America's girl next door. So you do gotta understand that, man. Black America would not have. This would not have. She could have been a congresswoman, but as far as being like the black congresswoman, the face of black congresswomen, yeah, this wouldn't have flew. Black people reject this every time.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need.
Listen, he up there, he's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we ain't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know.
But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know.
We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts.
You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today.
Yeah, that wouldn't have.
First of all, it's good to see.
That wouldn't have tugged at Black America's heartstrings, man. That's why they sent Cardi B out to tell you niggas to vote. When the Democrat Party needs you niggas to fall in line, they send you Cardi B, man, and Meg Thee Stallion, man, and no voting, no bucking, Trina and shit, and that other what is that dude, man, I forgot his name. Shout out to him. No, I don't want no smoke with him, man. I don't want no smoke with you, man, sir. Whatever his name is, no voting, no fucking dude, man. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
Hey, that's not nice. What if he would have said that to you, man?
Not our democracy. Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, you know, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief. Not our democracy. Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, you know, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief. Not our democracy.
I ain't gonna lie though. I smashed though. I was smashed. I was smashed. I was smashed. Make sure you support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat, guys. Sponsor the show, man. We need somebody. We need some people to sponsor the show, man. We're looking for some sponsors, man. If you're enjoying this content, man. I smash. You know what? Come to think about it, I don't think. Oh, not this one. No. Hold on. Damn. Hold on. Yeah, I that one. But yes. I've only smashed liberal chicks, man. I don't think I've ever smashed a conservative chick in my life. I don't think I've ever smashed a conservative chick in my life. Swear to God. I can't think of one. All the chicks every encounter, every rendezvous I've had has been with a liberal lady. He said, where are the conservative chicks? I don't know, man. Don't ask me.
Texas, what are y'all doing? Are y'all really proud of the representation y'all getting from Jasmine Crockett? I'm serious. Are y'all proud at the way Jasmine Crockett carries herself in Congress? Jasmine Crockett is a racist, trashy, ghetto piece of mess. Yep, I said it. Y'all get mad at me all y'all want. I stand 10 toes down on what I said. I said it, I meant it. She's a ghetto, trashy, racist piece of crap. Jasmine Crockett's mouth is completely filthy to be in Congress. For her to be representing the American people, her mouth is filthy. She don't even know when to cut it off. I don't care what she say at home and how she talk at home, but when you're in Congress representing the people of the United States of America, representing the people of your district, you should know how to act and how to control yourself. Her mouth is ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong. My mouth can be ridiculous sometimes, but I'm not in Congress. I'm not representing a certain district of people who put me in office. And you can best believe if I was, I would know how to act and how to carry myself. Even if you disagree with someone, you should know how to carry yourself. Jasmine Crockett is a piece of ghetto trash. And I'm so sick of y'all out here telling me, oh, Jasmine Crockett is a strong black woman. Jasmine Crockett don't take no mess. Oh, Jasmine Crockett, she'll tell you out. Jasmine Crockett is a ghetto piece of trash who do not know how to control herself or do not know how to act in Congress. And it is what it is. I mean, are y'all really proud of this? Women, are we? Is this what represent us? Are these the type of women that we want representing us in Congress? I'm serious. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Latino. I don't care what you are. Is this what you want representing us as women? And stop lumping all us black women up together, acting like we agree with this bull crap that Jasmine Crockett doing, because we don't. Jasmine Crockett is a man. Texas, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing, Texas? She at this point, everything is a joke. This is a joke.
Texas, man. It's not the same Texas, man. Jasmine Crockett, man.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity. And I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously, then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
Yeah, but Jasmine, man, let me holler at you, man. It's a reason black folk is behind, man. Let's break down everything she just said, man.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity. And I was like, I don't know. That
okay, so she's getting her policy ideas from celebrities. That right there is just, no, Jasmine. That's not where you get your policy ideas from, man.
That's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain.
Ma'am, black folks don't pay taxes. The tax base in every city is on the white side of town, man. Now, black people receive services from those tax bases, from that tax base, all the programs and shit like that. But black folk don't pay taxes anyway, man. I remember tax time. Somebody was always trying to tell me they had some kid that I could claim. I got a kid you can claim on your taxes. And so many black people would be claiming other people's kids and splitting the money when the tax check come back, man. Cheating on their taxes. If they did a real audit of every black person's tax history, all of us would be in jail, including me. They got all these black tax ladies that know how to cook the books and get you shit, all this money back. They all these black tax ladies, man. In the hood, man. Them tax places just pop up every like February. You thought that shit was an abandoned building. All of a sudden, it's a tax place and shit. It's a little black lady in there cooking the books, man. I never met a nigga that old. Never met a nigga that old, man. Every nigga I know was getting something back. Something nice. What you talking about, Jasmine?
For a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in
But you know what? That does prove, this does prove that she not from the hood. Press 1. This does prove, and when I say the hood, I'm not necessarily talking about the worst project in your city, but she's not from the regular black, you know what I'm talking about, the black community, you know, niggas and shit. You know niggas. She not from Niggerville. She not from Niggerville. Cause she would have never thought that this was a good idea.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously, then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right?
Ma'am, that labor was not stolen. That labor was sold, man. Let's keep it a buck, Jasmine. Those African chieftains, man. Those African chieftains sold them niggas, man. Them niggas was worthless. They was gonna cut them niggas' heads off. The white man was like, wait, you gonna cut all 500 of these people's heads off? Yes. We are going to, I have a message to send to my dead grandfather. I want to tell him something. And in order to tell him something in the afterlife, I have to chop off all 500. I have to tell it to these 500 people and then chop their heads off. And they will tell it to my grandfather on the other side. White man was like, I give you a barrel of rum for all 500 of them in this mirror. And the chief was like, so that's how that went, Jasmine.
Right. But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind. Right. And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really
Exactly, Jasmine. Exactly. This is your best and brightest. This is the most educated, man. This is your most educated, man. Shout out to Brian James, man. He says, Ox Stacey Abrams with her Michael Strahan grill smash fast. You know what, big old Stacy, man? Get big old Stacy. Listen, man. We did some strange things back in the day, man. Back over there in Northeast, man, on that Northeast side, on that greater Northeast side. Ooh. Oh, Lord. We did a strange things back on that great. Woo. Yikes. Some strange things, man. Stacey Abrams. 4:00 in the morning. Parking lot pimping. It's just us and a couple other dudes and a couple other fat girls in the parking lot. We done struck out. Everybody else done scored and went to the Waffle House or went to, or at the hotel or went home. And we cruising for a bruising and a car full of fat girls roll up. Like, what y'all doing? Ain't shit. We about to go smoke some weed. Oh, y'all got some weed? Yeah, we got some weed and a bottle. We ain't trying to come back. Yeah, we gonna follow y'all. All right. Get back to the cribbo. They get out. Doom, 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 doom. Big girls. Yeah, man. We done did that before, man. Had to let some big girls. Had to you know what I'm saying? Had to lay down the law on some big girls, man. Yeah, Stacey Abrams could get it off the late night, man. Back in the day, she'd have got it off the late night. If she'd have made herself, prettied herself up and been cute, dolled herself up a little bit, Stacey Abrams could have got it, man. Not with them little tarantula dreads, though. Them little tarantula dreads she got, nah. She got to get some braids or something. Get some braids or get a hair hat or something. Get a lace front or something, Stacey. But yeah, man, Stacey throw a lace front on, man. Yeah, man, she might have got it off the 4:00 in the morning parking lot pimping, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm just talking about like the prototypical nigga. Yeah, man. Stacey Abrams could have got it. Now, Stacey Abrams wouldn't have got no. I can tell you one thing: Stacey Abrams wouldn't have got. She wouldn't have got a phone call the next day. Press 1. She wouldn't have got a phone call the next day, but she would have got it that night. How about that? What you think these chicks look like with no makeup and they take their hair hat off? And they take their Spanx off? What you think a lot of these hood rats at the club look like when they take them Spanx off and their hair hat, that makeup on? And all their little girl trinkets, the eyelashes and all that other bullshit. There's a whole bunch of Stacey Abrams. These niggas' baby mamas be Stacey Abrams. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Shout out to Darren, man. He said black's tax season, black baby slave trade. Facts, man. Male Monkey, man. Shout out to Male Monkey taking the $5 challenge, man. It's the $7 challenge now, Mayo, man. It's the $7 challenge, man. It's $7, man. Them tariffs, man. Tariffs! Shout out to Male Monkey, man.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to.
So this is the day school she went to. Shout out to her, man. This remind me of my Quaker school, man. Even though we had a lot of black people there, man, we had a lot of white people too, man. A whole lot of white people, man. I don't hate white people though. She hate white people. I love white people, man. Let's see how many black people she got in here. This dude right here, 1, 2. Well, this is the current class. This isn't her class. This is the current class. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I only see 4 blacks. So this is the current class, senior class at that school. At Jasmine Crockett School, they got 4 black people in the senior class. God, oh, man. Jeez, man. God damn, man. That's crazy. And it was probably less back then. They probably had a diversity initiative, man. They probably had a diversity initiative, man. Yeah, it's safe. Must be a very safe environment, man. Very safe environment, man. It probably ain't been a fucking carjacking around that school, and a student ain't been arrested in 1,000 years, man. Shout out to Mac Knight, man. Mac Knight says he'll pass, man. That's all right, Mac Knight. You could have passed on big old Stacey Abrams when we was coming back from the club back in the day, in the wee hours of the night, man. You could have passed on big old Stacey Abrams. They would have called you gay and shit. That's how foul it is, though. In the hood, niggas would have called you a faggot. They'd have been like, you gay. Especially if she was going to let everybody smash, because them type of joints going to let everybody hit, one after another. So the whole crew get action. And then you be like, I'll pass. Niggas would have called you gay. They'd have put a gay rumor on you and shit. And then you would have had to fight that gay rumor in the court of hood opinion, man. Press 1. Shout out to Big Larry. Big Larry in the building again, man. Shout out to Big Larry, man. PN, man. Remember for 14 months. Stacy mad because I did call the next day. No, I didn't. I might have called the next weekend when we were back to the club. Like, yo, what you doing, shawty? Oh, why you calling me so late? You up? Yeah. All right, about to come through. All right. Yeah, man. Shout out to, man, Stacey Abramses of the world, man. So this is the class, man. Yeah, man. Jasmine Crockett, man. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett, man. This is the type of environment she come from, man. She went to this school all 12 years, man. That's crazy. She the Asia Wilson of She the Asa Wilson of Congress, man. Why do all the mad, angry black girls that cry about racism all the time never transferred? Why she ain't transferred? How can you go to this school for 12 years, man, with her mindset, man? She should have transferred after, like, at least after, like, the 6th grade. Like, man, fuck this shit, man. These white people crazy. I'm out of here. She stayed the whole time and then went to Rose College, an even whiter place. So she she basically spent, let's just say undergrad, she basically spent 20 years, 12 years of school and 8 years of college around these motherfuckers. Ain't that a bitch? And this is what we got.
My mom.
This is what that got us, man.
I'm thinking, I just got to Austin and I had to beat 5 people to get here. I don't know about this.
So y'all don't know what white privilege looks like, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of something.
It's a huge responsibility. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do.
And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services.
They send them to Texas, they send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
There was someone that talked to me and said, in fact, a former ambassador in the Clinton administration.
Please calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk noise and then
you're
can't
out of
take
control.
He said, Jasmine, what you have to realize is that if you are really going to make change, it's not going to be in the Texas House. He said, you did a great job playing defense, but you have a chance to play offense.
Someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
I had no idea what you just said.
The management, so to speak, changes. It's not just always one party that has everything.
I did it first.
Voted to do
Y'all
it.
did it first, so you don't want to talk about it.
Voted to do it.
Order.
He said, if you really want to make real change, you really need to consider it.
Because if I
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Wow. Thanks, white school, for all that, man. That white school, man. I don't know, man. I gotta get that white school a bad review on Great Schools app, man. Let's all go on the Great Schools app and give what's the name of the school? The Mary Institute in St. Louis Country Day School, man. Let's go to the Great Schools app and give that school a bad review, man. This is terrible, man. Y'all produce this bullshit. Yeah, man. This is bullshit, man. Y'all need to be punished for this, man. They need to be punished for that, man. We can't let you get away with that. You, sir, you gave us this. You gave us this bullshit. Shout out to Amazing Disgrace. He says, where's that dude with the leaf blower sending weeds fly? Yeah, man. Yo, if he did that to Jasmine Crockett, yo, oh my God, man. Please, man. Oh my God. Yeah, man. Leaf blower dude. Secret Service. I don't know if he should do that, man. He will be in big trouble with the Secret Service if you do that, but it's worth it, man. Leaf blower dude, if you out there, man. Next assignment, Jasmine Crockett, man. So let's see. This is her school, man. So it's okay. It's 9% black. I didn't see it wasn't a lot of black. There was only 4 black people in that picture, but whatever. 73% white, 10% Asian. Oh, so they got good SAT scores. Think about it. Them 10% Asians lift their test scores up, and those 9% blacks knock them right back down. press 1, man. God damn it. Yeah, man, leave a bad review on this joint, man. This is terrible, man. Where can I leave a review, man? I want to leave a review, man. Y'all produced Jasmine Crockett, yeah. Overall experience, no. I don't want to answer all these questions. I'm gonna speak the way I'm gonna speak the way she's write it the way she would write it now. Y'all produced Jasmine Crockett. This school sucks and should be fined for giving us that hood rat. And submit my review, man. Here we go. Relationship with the school, man. I'm what's my relationship with the school, man? Other, man. I'm an other. Oh shit. I gotta log in. Let me do Facebook, man. Oh, it's unavailable for Facebook, huh? I really want to do this, man. I really want to do this shit, man. Here we go. Here we go. I really want to do that, man. Y'all should give me credit for dedication. Oh man. We tired of this shit. We tired of these people producing this bullshit. All that goddamn money her parents spent. Her parents spent $35,000 a year. Her parents spent $35,000 a year, and they got a goddamn. They spent $35,000 a year for goddamn Mary J. Blige and shit, man. The fuck?
Instead, we're pushing conspiracy theories, and some of them are killing people. It's the same thing that we have coming out of Doge. It's the reason that people are dying. It's the reason that farmers are losing their farms, because we continue to peddle conspiracy theories. It is time for us to say, Mr. President, guess what? Russia invaded Ukraine. Can we at least agree on that one? Facts matter. Y'all, this is literally potentially putting us into an international crisis.
We may be heading towards the next world war because we have a president that wants to pal around with Putin and wants to do everything to make him feel good, including lying about who invaded who. Instead, we're pushing conspiracy theories and
you wouldn't go over there and bust a grape. You warmonger. Goddamn warmonger wouldn't bust a grape. She would throw rice at a Chinese wedding and want all these young men to die in a war. Shout out to Baby King. He said she white. Yeah, man. Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is white, man. Jasmine Crack. You go back here, man. See what Roland, man. What Roland got to say, man?
So, but he's whining, complaining. Whatever.
Didn't he host Politically Incorrect? Wasn't that his first main show? What is he talking about?
Yeah, that's what it was. Right. So, but he's whining, complaining, whatever. So I'm so over his little whip ass. You know, I did a show one time. I think it was October of 2014, November 2014. And this is why I haven't been back on. First of all, I killed it, smoked them. So here's what happened. So during his show, they have two parts. They have the regular show, then they have the overtime show. So I knew that Bill Cosby was going to come up because this is when all the stuff with Cosby was really coming out. So what happened was, first of all, when we came out, I'd actually taken a photo of the audience. He's like, "Oh, stop it, live in a moment." First time, a grown ass man. Don't you fucking tell me I can't take a photo. All right. So what happened was during the show, I looked at my phone. I had taken some notes. On the way there, I had called a rape survivor and I had called Jeff Gardier, American psychologist, and I had asked him some questions. So I wanted just to be sure that I had the right order of their comments. And so I opened up the notes section of my phone, double checked what they had to say. Well, what happened was when the show was over, he tells someone that I was surfing the internet during the show. So a producer came up to me at the rap party and told me that. And I was like, well, that's a lie. You know me, I didn't give a damn. I walked up to his sorry ass and I actually said, my understanding that you said this. I said, no, and showed him the note. Now, mind you, he's sitting there with blue cards with notes and stuff on it. So you can check notes and I can't. Have been booked since. So that's how much of a punk ass Bill Maher is. Okay.
Again, Roland, you always cussing white people out, getting sassy with them, and then complaining that this is a racist country and you can't, and there's all this shit you can't do. There's all these limitations on you because of the color of your skin. Yeah, every time you open your mouth, you cussing some white man out. You shouldn't be able to cuss a white man out. You should be swinging from a tree for that shit. Cussing that white man out like that, man, on national TV. You should be swinging from a tree, man. According to you, Roland. Salute to Dark Kent, man. He says Stacey Abrams is the spitting image of Jalen Carter. Facts. No bullshit. That is so true. And they both from Georgia. That is so true. That is so true. She gave him up for adoption. Stacey, that's the pregnancy. That's the pregnancy, the unwanted pregnancy, man. Yeah, man. That story I told you earlier was true, man. That story about that club, that was really true, man. That was a true story, man. She ended up giving the baby up, though, man. Shout out to Big Larry in the building once again.
Okay. He assumed something, and I actually showed him what the truth was. And then the little punk ever since then oh, no, we're not going to have him back on the show. Man, get your little punk ass on.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. And
where the fuck that come from? Isaac Hayes III, man. Shout out to Isaac Hayes, man. His father making them long ass 20-minute songs, man. That bad motherfucker too, man. Jasmine Crockett. Let's see. Let me see. Let's. You know what, man. Let's see what's going on out here, man. If we can see, because Jasmine Crockett said white people committing 80% of the crime. White supremacists, to be exact, committing 80% of the crime, man. Let's test that theory, man. Let's just see if what she's saying is true, man. So see what the algorithm tells us, man. Let's see what the algorithm tells us, man. You know, these damn white people out here shooting and carjacking. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go.
Homeowners in the South Bay and the East Bay saying the same two women tried to break into their homes, and possibly because of their ethnicity. The homeowners reached out to Cron 4 after seeing a report from us on Friday when a San Jose couple says they lost $16,000 worth of jewelry because of a theft. Cron 4's Jack Molman has more.
Home surveillance footage in the South Bay captures these two women walking into a home, stealing $16,000 worth of jewelry from a safe on February 27th. Cron 4 reported on the story on March 7th. And on that day, this family down the street says the exact same woman ran.
Oh, shit. Jasmine Crockett might be right, man.
Down the street says the exact same woman ransacked their home. The story does not end here.
This is my parents' house, and we're in the garden out in front.
At Roy Kamimura's parents' home in El Cerrito, security cameras captured two women breaking into the side gate. The date of the recording, also March 7th.
And I looked at the place, and I didn't see anything. I went through the gate, and I noticed that it was busted.
Kamimura is just happy his parents were not home at the time.
As far as I know, no one got hurt, but you know, it's what happens when they break into a place and someone's actually there. What are they going to do? That's the part I'm really worried about, is a confrontation.
Kamimura posted the break-in on Nextdoor, and it got the attention of Kelly Wong in Berkeley, who also says she saw the exact same woman breaking into her home.
The deadbolt and on the door was hanging off of the door, and then I was like, oh crap, they actually like busted through.
See, Asian people, man, they targets, man. This is so sad, man. They targets. And this is usually from us, but this is I don't know, these like gypsies. I guess these gypsies targeted them.
Through the door, and you know, like we're trying to come in.
Wong ran outside and snapped this photo of the woman and also shared it on Nextdoor. That's when both Wong and Kamimura were alerted about Cron 4's report on the San Jose burglary.
And when I watched the video, I was like, these are the exact same women.
Well, Berkeley police did confirm to Cron 4 News that they are investigating the Wong family's burglary case, but they did not confirm if they're in communication with San Jose police or El Cerrito police for similar cases involving what looks to be the same suspects. Wong also believes the suspects in question are all targeting Asian families, saying Berkeley police told her her Chinese New Year's decorations made them a target.
And I took our sign down right away because I don't want to be the victim of another hate crime. And
could you imagine having a red, black, and green flag and that making you a target of crime?
Really scary right now.
And for Kamimura, he says his parents have a
Japanese... having a picture of Malcolm X and shit in your fucking window and shit, and they're like, oh, we ought to go rob them.
Foul guarding, which could have also made them a target as well. He says he hopes this string of burglaries helps police come closer to tracking down these suspects.
I hope the police are able to connect the dots and catch these people before someone gets hurt.
Jack Mulmud, Cron 4 News.
Wow.
I'm Grant Lotus.
And I'm Catherine Heenan. Well, it has happened again. An Oakland business that has seen its 3 gas stations burglarized repeatedly was targeted again. It happened early this morning.
And as Cron 4's Dan Kerman reports, while the burglars didn't make off with much, damage to the gas stations is extensive.
I live in Oakland, and I want to see the city thrive, but I just don't know how we can when there's no support.
Marissa Betts doesn't want to give up on Oakland, but it's getting more and more difficult. Her family owns 3 Chevron gas stations there, and Tuesday morning about 3:30, burglars arrived at the one on Lakeshore Avenue.
Hey, man, that could have been a mistake, man. Anybody could accidentally back into a gas station.
And rammed one of their cars into the business twice. And
I mean, anybody could do it twice within a few moments, too.
in hopes of getting their hands on the safe. Oakland police arrived on scene, and the burglars.
And 3 guys jump out the car. Who is this, man? Let's see who this is, man.
Took off, but they weren't captured, and instead hit the Betts' 2 other Chevron stations on Moraga Avenue and Redwood Road.
I think it's the pursuit policy that they're not allowed. So I know that they're in talks, but what does that do?
Betts blames OPD's pursuit policy, which limits officers' ability to engage in vehicle pursuits, for the police department's failure to capture these suspects. Now, we asked police if their current vehicle pursuit policy prevented them from trailing and ultimately apprehending the suspects. They would not.
I couldn't tell whether these is Hispanics or blacks, man. Like their pants are pulled up. These look like they might be Hispanics on burritos, man. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Continue to support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. These might be Hispanics, man. We might be off the hook for this, black people. This is crazy, man.
Suits for the police department's failure to capture these suspects. Now, we asked police if their current vehicle pursuit policy prevented them from trailing and ultimately apprehending the suspects. They would not answer that question. The burglars didn't get away with much at any of the 3 stations and didn't access the safe. But Betts says damage to the buildings is extensive and has resulted in the shutdown of their gas pumps.
I'm concerned about keeping our staff employed so they can pay their own bills.
The Betts' 3 Oakland gas stations have been burglarized before. Between October of 2023 and October of 2024, their stations were hit 23 times at a cost of Between October of 2023 and October of 2024, their stations were hit 23 times.
Think about that, man. You got 3 gas stations. This poor woman, her family owns 3 gas stations. In a year, they were hit 23 times. That's literally twice a month. There must be a lot of money in gas stations, man, for that to be worth it. For that to be worth it, there's a lot of money in gas stations. Yikes.
Have been burglarized before. Between October of 2023 and October of 2024, their stations were hit 23 times at a cost of $60,000 in repairs, replacement tools, and equipment. No damage estimate from Tuesday morning's burglaries, but Betts says she's at the end of her rope.
I don't know what to do. It's just not good doing business in Oakland, unfortunately.
Oakland police say they're investigating all 3 burglaries.
Salute to Alex O, man. Alex O in the building, man. Shout out to you, Alex O. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's scary, man.
An exchange of gunfire injuring a man after a community barbecue in Minneapolis last night. The man worked.
Here we go. Now we cooking with fire. This is Jasmine's people right here, man. This is definitely Jasmine's people.
An exchange of gunfire injuring a man after a community barbecue in Minneapolis last night.
The man working as security for the violence prevention group 21 Days of Peace. Fox 9's Mary McGuire joins us now live. And Mary, a lot of the details still up in the air tonight.
The violence prevention group 21 Days of Peace. Yo, first off, man, I'm never supporting no violence prevention group called 21 Days of Peace. You got to show me 1 day of peace before I get even that's 21 hours of peace. 21 Days of Peace is a scam, y'all. Never support a violence prevention group called 21 Days of Peace in the black community, man. Never support that, man. That's false advertising. That's impossible. That's impossible. There's no way that is impossible. It's not improbable. That could never happen. So right there. But if they was named 21 hours apiece, I would be like, hey man, I see your vision, brother. I see your vision, brother. I want to do everything I can to help you, man, succeed, man. Salute the amazing disgrace. He says, store your valuables in books. Don't people ever learn? Oh, man.
And Simone, still a lot of unanswered questions as well. This shooting still under investigation tonight, but this all comes as the work of violence interrupters across the city of Minneapolis is under a microscope. A community barbecue put on by the violence prevention group 21 Days of Peace took a turbulent turn with bullets hitting both a security guard and a child's bedroom. Just after 9:30 Monday night, Minneapolis.
It wouldn't have been a black shooter if it didn't hit a child's bedroom. The shooter must be biracial, man, because if he was black, he would have killed that child, man. The black shooter always kills the kid, man, by accident or in the crossfire. This shooter must have been biracial, man. His white side made him shoot at the child, but the black side made him shoot at the child, and the white side made it only hit the bedroom.
Turn with bullets hitting both a security guard and a child's bedroom. Just after 9:30 Monday night, Minneapolis police responded to gunfire on the 3500 block of Penn Avenue North. Officers found a man in his 30s shot nearby, and he was rushed to North Memorial. They also discovered a nearby home had been hit by bullets. Reverend Jerry McAfee tells Fox 9 his 21 Days of Peace organization was holding a grill out, and as they were cleaning up, a couple of men came out of an alley and started shooting. McAfee says one of his security guards was shot, but thankfully they were wearing a bulletproof vest. Sources say he returned fire and has a legal permit to carry a gun.
And take care of the needs of our people. I shouldn't have to come here and say nothing.
This all comes as funding for violence prevention groups across Minneapolis are under a microscope, with tensions boiling over at recent city council meetings. The city has been accused of awarding violence prevention contracts to groups without verifying how money is spent, leading to new accountability measures. 21.
That shit is all a grift, man. That shit is such a grift nowadays, man. That violence prevention shit, we talk about that all the time, man. But if you're new, that violence prevention is a hustle, man. My everyday lifestyle ain't nothing but a hustle. Gambling, slinging, doing sticks, nobody move a muscle. That's all it is, man. A hustle. Everybody hit that like button, man. They won't let us get to 300 no more. I noticed that, man. They keep us at 220. YouTubers is crazy, man. They won't even let us get to 2. They won't let us get to 300, man. Everybody hit the like button right now for me right quick. See if we can bump us up in the algorithm, man. Let me drop the link, man. Try to bump us up in the algorithm. If you got a Twitter or Facebook, man, share this stream on your press share under the video and share it on one of your social media platforms, man. Every day looks good.
21 Days of Peace does not currently do any violence prevention work with the city, but is contracted for community trauma response services. It's still unclear if Monday night's barbecue was a part of their contracted work. Now, at this hour, no arrests have been made in this case, but we are told that the man who was shot last night is expected to be okay. Reporting live tonight, Mary McGuire, Fox 9.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
Jeez.
An exchange of gunfire injuring a man after a community.
Jeez.
Minneapolis police are searching for the gunman who shot and wounded an armed security guard who was working with a community organization.
It happened. It's the same fucking day. Oh.
North Carolina lawmakers moving forward today on a bill that would increase penalties for felons who use a gun to commit yet another crime. They're hoping House Bill 28 will cut back on repeat offenders and help law enforcement. WCNC Charlotte's Kaylin Hagwood joining us in studio now. Kaylin, you spoke with lawmakers both sides of the aisle. What are they saying?
Well, it's rare that Republicans and Democrats agree on anything nowadays, but both sides say they're hopeful this bill will cut down on crime.
The chair will recognize Representative Balkin for the presentation of that bill.
House lawmakers gathering in committee Tuesday to discuss the future of House Bill 28. If passed, the bill would increase penalties for convicted felons who possess, brandish, or use a gun during a crime.
The bill creates new punishment for convicted felons who are prohibited by law from possessing weapons that commit a new felony.
Henderson County Republican Jennifer Balcom is among the bill's sponsors and says felons could face additional penalties of up to nearly 5 years in prison.
Punishment is based on what the convicted felon does with the weapon.
It comes as police around the state sound off on what they say is an increase in repeat offenders, including in Mecklenburg County, where Terry Brown is a Democratic representative.
So that is one of the biggest things we talk about with law enforcement, as well as conversations I've had with DA Merriweather about kind of the revolving door of some repeat offenders who are there.
While he has some questions about enforcement.
And I also want to make sure that we're not double dipping and charging folks twice for the same action.
He's hopeful the final bill will be helpful for families in the Tar Heel State.
They know the punishment that comes along with being a felon in possession of a firearm. And then when you commit another crime, you can know that you're going to get additional punishment on top of that. So it should act as a deterrent to keep folks in Charlotte and across North Carolina safer.
Well, that bill now heads to the Rules, Calendar, and Operations Committee for further review. Jane.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, son, man. Good luck with that, son, man. Nothing else has worked, man. We'll just say that, man. Nothing else has worked.
Baltimore County Police are investigating a second targeted shooting involving a teen in less than a week, this time in a White Marsh neighborhood.
Police say a 17-year-old was shot and killed last night, just 5 days after a 16-year-old was killed outside of Lansdowne High School. Neighbors tell Fox 45 News the violence has left them shocked.
I heard screams of a woman, and it's non-stop screaming. And I was confused at what's going on.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Maxine Stryker.
And I'm Kai Jackson. Let's go right to Fox 45's Keith Daniels with an update on the White Marsh investigation. Keith.
Well, Kai and Maxine, Baltimore County Police working this one. A juvenile gunned down, and tonight the search for his killer. In the light of day Monday, no sign of the deadly violence that broke out on Bedrock Circle near Southfield Drive Sunday night. A 17-year-old male shot and killed just before 9 that night at the Southfield Apartments in White Marsh. Across the street, the disturbance shook Afid Azit from his sleep.
Woke up from the bed and looked out the window, and my front window faces this apartment complex, the Southfield, and I see a police car. I heard the screams of a woman, and it's non-stop screaming.
Police responded, found the victim with one gunshot wound, later pronounced dead on the scene. For now, from investigators, few details, including no motive, no suspect information, but police do call it an isolated incident. Baltimore County Councilman David Marks.
Every time something like this happens, I call the captain for the precinct.
With the Facebook post early Monday regarding what he called the targeted shooting. It happened in his district. The councilman at the site Monday with concerns.
Well, my concern is that, overall the statistics tell us that a lot of this is going down. We went from 35 to 25 homicides between 2023 and 2024. But this creates a chill, right? This certainly creates terrible feelings in the neighborhood.
Yeah, man. Salute to Kimberly Ashcraft, man. She says, best channel on YouTube. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, man. Everybody's doing well. Thank you. Hope everybody's doing well on your side. Kimberly Ashcraft. Salute to Baby King, man. He said, take the challenge. Yeah, man. Support the channel, guys. Baby King, man. Says so, man. Take the challenge. Challenge yourself. Yeah, man. They don't know which Sunman did this. Just a Sunman shooting. They have no idea what happened.
Tonight, a man is behind bars accused of shooting a Portsmouth police officer during a domestic violence investigation last night. 26-year-old Rakeem Christian faces 5 charges, including aggravated attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. Now, that officer has been released from the hospital and will recover.
But tonight, Alex Littlehales joins us live in Portsmouth with a better look at the punishment Christian could face. Alex.
Wow.
So since the department has not dealt with a police officer injured by gunfire since 2017, they told us, police officials did, that this is simply not the kind of case that they regularly are used to as a police department. Now, you mentioned charges, and we actually learned through court records that a 3-year-old was inside the home at the time that the officer was shot. So because of that, Rakeem Christian not only faces aggravated attempted murder of that police officer, but also felony child neglect.
You're entering someone's domain. You're entering their dwelling. You're also dealing with emotion.
Portsmouth Police Detective Gino Jackson didn't think twice when he heard what happened on Pepperwood Place.
Because you never know who it's going to be. I didn't know who the officers were when I left my house. I just went.
Monday night, Portsmouth police say 2 officers responded to a tip that a woman was on her way to 26-year-old Rakeem Christian's house to pick up their child. The same caller told investigators she was concerned he was possibly holding her against her will. Christian shot one officer once, according to records, before going back inside.
What a great country, man. I mean, some woman. These are heroes. If you're that woman, these people are heroes. Her friend said, "Hey, I think my friend is going to get her baby, and I think her baby father is crazy. Can y'all just go over there and make sure everything's all right?" Da,
Right.
da, da, da.
And here they come like some goofies, right? For someone that couldn't care less.
Crazy, man.
I mean, look, Chief. Here's yet another brother, a father in the home. At least he's involved, right? Give him some credit.
That's true. We need more fathers in the home in the black community, man. Even if they do shoot police and with their kids in the room. But still, man, he was mad, man. She shouldn't have called the police, man. You know, and he proved why she shouldn't have called the police.
Yeah. You know, the funny part, like, is that I bet you he thinks that. In the joint, he thinks, man, I'm here because she called the police.
Of course. Of course he does. Wow.
When authorities searched the rest of the apartment, they say they found the gun inside the room of his 3-year-old and that the gun was within reach of the unattended child.
So you have to think, we were called there. There may be a child inside that house. You have another woman that's inside of that house. If you can't see what's behind the backdrop, those officers, I believe, made the right decision in not firing into a situation where they didn't know what was behind that door.
Jackson says the 3-year-old's presence in the house just part of the reason for his felony child neglect charge. In total, 5 felonies, and it's not yet known at this time if there were other domestic calls to the house. So, a legal expert told us today that the punishment for aggravated attempted murder of a law enforcement officer could carry a punishment between 20 years to life in prison. Live in Portsmouth, I'm Alex Little-Hales for 13 News Now.
Damn, bro.
But you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, but a run-of-the-mill some person, right, would have a problem with people calling this one here a son word, right? Like, come on, Queen. Come on, Queen. We can't call this one a son word.
No, man. Definitely, especially not this one. Right. We'll tear the city up for this one.
Welcome back to Fox 2 News at 7. Charges have now been filed in the case of 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans found in the backyard dead of a Kansas City area home.
They were at a friend's house to watch a Chiefs game, and that friend is now one of 2 men facing charges. Blake Jackson has more on the charges and reaction from the victims' families.
Today's charges are the product of hard work of Kansas City detectives and prosecutors over those many months.
14 months after this case got national attention, it's now one step closer to its conclusion. On Wednesday, the Platte County Prosecutor's Office announced 5 felony charges against 2 men, Ivory Carson and Jordan Willis. Willis for purchasing and Carson for supplying the drugs that led to the death of Clayton McGinney, Ricky Johnson, and David Harrington.
Members of the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department do not give up on these investigations. While this happened a year ago, our detectives continue to work on this case to get it to the point that we're at today.
The state says the 3 men gathered together with friends at Harrington's home. Then the party moved to Willis's home, where drugs, including cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana were used. The men were not heard from for almost 2 days until McGinney's fiance arrived at Willis's home, where she discovered one body and called the police. The other 2 bodies were later found, all 3 outside in the backyard of the home Willis was renting. Both men now face up to 50 years behind bars if convicted in this case.
This case is a tragic reminder of the dangers of street drugs. But make no mistake, the people who supply those drugs can and will be held accountable.
Yikes.
I am prosecuting.
Yikes.
You know, I get, and with this channel, man, it's weird. It's weird, right? I'm always reminded, despite the never-ending wave of violence. What a great country this is.
Mm.
You know that despite that we have this problem, we still have that security, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yikes.
WREG Shay Arthur gives us a closer look.
Disturbing video. So many watched in disbelief. A man, Memphis police identified as 45-year-old James Booth, threw a bag into a dumpster. Investigators tell us a newborn baby was in that bag. The child was later discovered dead. The details in this case take another dark turn. Detectives say just moments before surveillance video captured Booth back in January, behind a white, a 16-year-old girl had just given birth to that child, and they were on the way to the hospital. Booth was arrested the next day, booked on a $250,000 bond. He was charged with abuse of a corpse at the time. But as WREG uncovered last Friday, court records show that charge was dismissed due to lack of prosecution.
Dang.
But the district attorney's office told us Booth had been indicted on 5 additional charges. This weekend, our team discovered those charges are trafficking for a commercial sex act, promoting prostitution of a minor, continuous sexual abuse of a child, and aggravated statutory rape. Court records say the 16-year-old girl who gave birth told investigators at the time of his arrest in January the pair had been in a relationship for 3 years. The district attorney's office also told us it continues to review the abuse of a corpse allegation for potential indictment. Also saying, keep in mind that when charges are dismissed in general sessions, it does not preclude us from still pursuing an indictment and moving forward as more evidence becomes available. For your news leader, Shay Arthur, WREG News Channel 3.
Seemed like
And with the new.
Seemed like a nice guy right there, man. Jesus Christ, man.
Breaking news out of Tipton County. A Covington man charged with sexual assault of a minor will remain in jail as additional potential victims are coming forward. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hirsch. WRG's Mike Sirianni was in court this morning as has details on the investigation.
20-year-old Jamarius McInnes in Tipton County General Sessions Court Tuesday. McInnes from Covington on probation for carrying a gun on school property in another jurisdiction is now charged with rape of a child.
The court's going to revoke your probation and appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. As I stated, rape of a child is a capital offense and you will get no bond in this matter.
The Covington police have now developed McInnes as a suspect in more than one sexual assault involving as many as 5 underage girls after a victim filed a complaint in early November.
The range of age of the people that we know, the young girls that he has had contact with, that we have confirmed through social media contacts, different levels of contact, is ages 12 through 15. Which is very troubling, as you can imagine.
Chief Donna Turner says detectives linked potential victims to McInnes through his social media handle, Bando, and McInnes was arrested March.
Bando.
Yo, is Bando a short king?
Is he a what?
He look like a short king. He look like
Short
a short
king?
guy. Yeah, unless that glider is very tall, you know?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of. He probably messed with. These are probably little black girls, man.
March 7th in Covington. Chief Turner says so far, victims are not all from Covington, but most are from West Tennessee, and the number could grow.
We don't want people to think that they have to come back to Covington. We'll work with them in their jurisdiction that they're at, and there's a Department of Children's Service that will work in each county.
As this investigation continues, police are urging parents to talk with their children about whether they've had correspondence on social media with Bando. If so, contact Covington Police. For your news leader in Tipton County, Mike Sirianni, WREG News Channel 3.
And that Covington Police Department contact number is 901-475-1261. In the meantime, Jamarius McInnes remains in the Tipton County Correctional.
Topping the news at 4:30, a teenager accused of throwing a dog off a bridge to its death was in court today. Christopher Triplett was arraigned this morning, charged with cruelty to animals.
He one of the good ones, man. If you from down there, man, you could let him date your daughter, man.
It's our relative.
Yeah. He's a great kid, man.
Animals. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for staying with us. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. For now, the teen will remain in lockup unless he can pay his six-figure bond. WRAG's Jarita Patterson with more from today's court appearance.
Tuesday, we were able to get our first up-close look at 18-year-old Christopher Triplett as he learned just how much he would have to pay to go free.
Your bond's $100,000.
An amount that may have come as a shock to the teen, but it was days earlier when there were shock waves that passed through the community after police say Triplett is the one captured on camera dragging a dog before throwing the helpless canine off a South Lauderdale Street bridge not once but twice, killing the dog. The person in the video was then seen running back to these apartments along E.H. Crump, but he didn't stay on the run very long, just over a week after the disturbing incident, and Triplett was in custody before then heading to court. Judge Karen Massey wasting no time Tuesday, telling the teen he is facing an animal cruelty charge. Triplett was then asked a few questions.
Are you able to make your bond?
The video that captured the heinous crime spoke volumes. But for the person police say was seen on surveillance, well, he had little to say, only speaking in a hushed tone before being escorted back to lockup. Tuesday's arraignment was over quickly. We're talking in less than 1 minute, but the judge telling the teenager if he is convicted, he could spend quite some time in lockup. We're talking 1 to 6 years. For now, Triplett is being held on $100,000 bond. Reporting for your news leader inside the CJC, Jarita Patterson, WREG.
Good kid, man.
You know, some words could put a straight bullet through a kid's face, and the gliders would still give him that he's a victim of his trauma bullshit, right? But
Yeah.
gliders love their dogs. They won't forgive this one.
No. This is where they draw the line, man. He'd have got a $25,000 bond if he'd have killed somebody in a straight shooting or some shit like that.
What started as a quiet Sunday night on this Midtown street ended up sounding more like a war zone after dozens of shots rang out.
Bullets came in there, down in the corner. See where the circle is?
This woman, who didn't want to be identified, heard 3 rounds of gunfire before a bullet came through a living room window, ricocheted off a glass cabinet, and hit a picture hanging on another wall.
I mean, he would have gotten me had I continued on the way I intended to come into the room.
Police say the shots were fired during a large party at a short-term rental at Ashland and Madison. One witness told officers they had been shooting a rap video. Other neighbors say they saw several people.
They had been shooting a rap video.
I'm sure it's a coincidence.
Yeah, just happened to happen like that. Wow. Jesus Christ.
I'm sure the video gonna go hard though. After some shit like this, you know that they went and got some bars after this. They're feeling themselves.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
adrenaline
yeah.
pumping.
Man. Unbelievable. These Jasmine Crockett, man, your people are so predictable, man. Like it's like damn, like everything I said earlier is coming to fruition, man.
Right. They're predictably unpredictable. You know, it's weird. It's a weird species, weird specimen. You know.
Look at the public spaces, man. They're doing this stuff in. All of this stuff is being done in public.
People running from the residence.
A police officer showed up very quickly. I didn't even know. I didn't even have time to even process what was going on and call 911, but he was already there.
Neighbors say the house had been on Airbnb for at least 2 years. Airbnb has since suspended the listing. In 2024, police responded to at least a half dozen shootings at vacation rentals in Midtown, including 4 that were fatal. Last July, one person was killed and another injured when someone opened fire at a high school graduation party on Felix. People who live in this neighborhood say they're on edge.
Pretty unsettling. This very quiet neighborhood, so very unexpected.
A member of the Neighborhood Watch says the property owner who lives.
Yeah, man, because the people who did it don't live nowhere near there. You imported like 50 or 60 fucking black, fucking hip hop, thug life, fucking street urchins into your neighborhood. And they came and did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Right. Can you
Out of state.
imagine how much better it would be if they were able to, I guess, discriminate? Like outright be like, no. Can you imagine
Yeah.
how smooth their shit would be?
Discrimination would quickly turn into segregation though. Like in like a year. Like if you allow people to discriminate, it's going to instantly turn to segregation. Because they're going to be like, yo, why don't we just go all the way with this shit?
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, I don't know about segregation, and I'm not necessarily, I guess, for discrimination, but something's got to give.
Like, think about it. If I got a fucking, if I can't let you like come into my restaurant, I can't let you park in my parking deck. I can't let you come into my apartment building. I
Jump in
can't
my
let you,
Uber.
yeah, I can't let you get my Uber. Might as well just make it official, man.
Can you know what? If say they were to do segregation, right? And I think this is a fact. If they were to do segregation, Blackistan would make third world countries look like first world countries. How violent, how dilapidated it would become, how unlivable, dangerous. I mean, really think about it. I'm telling you. Tell me I'm wrong.
Shout out to Big Larry. I don't know. I mean, Haiti in the Congo.
It would become Haiti.
I don't think it could because white people, you still under the law. Just because segregation happens doesn't mean there's still the law of the land.
But say it included like law enforcement, the courts, the police.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah. If they just took their hands off of us, because that's not what segregation is. Segregation is just like you can't like come to you got to create your own shit. If you want a movie, you want to go to the movie theaters, nigga, make your own movie theater.
It would be downright inhumane. It would be one of the worst human travesties that we could do to children.
Yeah, exactly, man. Y'all have to close the border too. Y'all have to build the wall.
Plans to sell it. Police Chief C.J. Davis says they're working closely with the DA's office to address what she calls a nuisance property. For your news leader in Midtown, Melissa Moon, WREG News Channel 3.
First at 5 on your news leader, a shot fired in a Parkway Village grocery store. That scary holdup caught on camera. And tonight, Memphis police are looking for the person responsible. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hirsch. WRG Shay Arthur is live tonight with the latest on this case. And Shay, what are you learning?
Greg, Stephanie, yeah, it's some pretty alarming video we have to share with you tonight. Thankfully, no one was physically injured, but that thief still did damage. Tense moments. Tonight, Memphis police want you to take a close look. Maybe someone recognizes this gunman, a man with part of his face covered, armed with an AR-style rifle.
No, that's Umbrito. Umbrito, man. Got those sandals. Is that sandals?
If he got sandals, it's an umbrella.
I can't see. It looks like, I don't know, kind of looks like he might have sandals. He got That look like a burrito face, though.
Rifle held up Supermercado Guatemala off Winchester
Oh yeah, confirmed.
and Parkway Village. The scary scene happening in broad daylight just after 1 Saturday afternoon. Demanding money at gunpoint, the man fired a shot into the floor just inches from an employee.
That's very scary.
The cashier complied. The gunman took the money, got into a silver Honda Pilot, and took off. Back at the store today, you can see the damage to the floor left behind from that bullet. Today, despite the recent holdup, it's business as usual, as employees work outside and the open sign on the front door still flashes. But the image of the man with the gun startling for some shoppers who frequent the business for food and other household items.
They have kids and families and stuff. They be going to shopping and stuff in there.
Jahan Taylor left concerned about the reckless behavior seen in the video.
But people don't care nowadays. They just, everybody trying to make a living. I don't think that's right. I hope people stay safe.
You tell them, Queen.
This the starter baby mother. This is the rapper baby mother before he get a contract.
But you know what? Compared to those other bitches, she's a 10. Compared to the starter pack, she's not bad for the starter pack. You saw Little Dirk's
People don't care nowadays.
I see who?
Did you ever see Little Dirk's first baby mama?
You talking the fat white girl?
Yeah, this was a 10.
Yeah.
It's, they just, everybody trying to make a living. I don't think that's right. I hope people stay safe.
If you know anything, contact Crime Stoppers 901-528-CASH. For your news leader, we're live downtown.
Liquor store break-ins and that.
That's a long time. Yeah. These dudes be struggling at the beginning, man. Before the money come in, man.
Next thing you know.
I'm Katie Orr. Thank you for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. We're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have made headlines recently in our area. Austin police have arrested several people, most of them women, they say are tied to a car burglary ring. They're facing charges including burglary of a vehicle, organized criminal activity, and failure to identify as a fugitive. Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt finds that detectives believe there are at least 2 or 3 dozen criminals involved who have been doing this for years.
Purses, wallets, and other.
9 people were arrested in what police are calling a large criminal enterprise involving people burglarizing vehicles at Austin parks.
Over the past 4 weeks, members of North Metro Tactical Response Unit collaborated with APD Region 1 Criminal Investigations Division, APD Financial Crimes, patrol units, the Travis County Parks Police, and the City of Austin Parks and Recreation Department to build a proactive enforcement.
Green says Mount Bonnell is a known hotspot for car break-ins. On January 31st, officers found a shattered car window with the owner reporting that her purse was missing. The bag was recovered, but the bank cards were gone.
We have recovered stolen property from many of the victims involved in these senseless crimes.
A woman with an active warrant for her arrest identified herself to police. They later learned the 21-year-old gave them a fake name. Detectives searched the suspect's car. Here's what was inside: the victim's money, along with meth, fentanyl, and dozens of gift cards. The following day, they got the real ID on Armony White and made the arrest.
We did have knowledge about these cases. Vehicle burglaries are very hard to detect. It's a lot of timing and just opportunity and a lot of resource allocation.
The North Metro Tactical Response soon realized a warrant was issued for White a week earlier for a probation violation related to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon conviction.
Wow.
They caught White during a traffic stop who, once again, gave them a fake name, but officers were well aware of who she was at this point and took her in again.
The goal of the operation was to target known offenders of these crimes in an effort to reduce the number of incidents. As a result of these efforts,
With her, 34 gift cards, which are believed to have been bought with stolen debit and credit cards. 3 days later, reports of 4 people peeking into cars near the Emma Long Metropolitan Park.
The tips from the community have been used to help us in making arrests, and we want to express our gratitude to those who have come forward to assist us in our investigation.
Patrol officers were able to find the suspect's vehicle at Red Bud Trail based on the description. Deshauna Pinson, Jayana Smith, Heaven Carter, and Jamila Westmoreland were all put behind bars. In the same area, another car break-in reported, but this on the description.
What?
Any one of them, man?
And what about you?
I'm Gucci. Rough looking bras, but
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. You know, a couple of shots,
oh
maybe
yeah,
the one on the,
oh
fuck.
yeah, that changes everything. Time and alcohol content changes everything.
Shauna Pinson, Jayana Smith, Heaven Carter, and Jamila.
She look evil, man. She literally looks like a demon. She like a cute demon.
Westmoreland were all put behind bars. In the same area, another car break-in reported, but this time at the Red Bud Isle Park. A witness got a photo of the suspect's car registered to Rakisha Thompson. She used the victim's stolen card at Target with another woman, and police took Thompson into custody a few days later.
Offenses varying from engaging in organized criminal activity, credit card abuse, failure to identify, request to apprehend, burglary of a vehicle, and driving without a license.
Last Monday, Carter bonded out. Then Destiny Thomas and another.
Damn, the crew, man.
I'm noticing a pattern.
These two starting to look good now, man. Now that you in this lineup, I think these two could probably get it.
Look, don't two right there. Just slap some foundation on them.
Yeah,
some war paint.
Yeah, man. Hit the like button, man. Subscribe, support the channel, sponsor the show, guys. Take the challenge. Shout out to Carlos, man. Carlos in the building.
Carlito.
Other women were ID'd from a previous incident at Bull Creek Park. Police found Carter in a car with Wes Moreland and Natalia Jackson. Lastly, Artrell Vincent was caught early February at Bull Creek Park, but turned himself in last week.
APD is investigating a shooting outside of a gym in Northeast Austin. It happened around 6 a.m. on February 27th. This was at a Fitness Connection off of North I-35. When police got there, they found a woman with a gunshot wound. Police say she had been seen with a knife in the parking lot before that shooting. The man who shot her stayed at the scene and was detained. The woman was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. APD says all parties involved are still being questioned. No one has been arrested. Meantime, the Williamson County Sheriff's Office is investigating a murder just outside of Georgetown city limits. Deputies do have a suspect in custody. Fox 7 Austin's Williamson County reporter Lauren Rangel has the latest.
Sheriff's Office spent the afternoon investigating and taping off this property you see behind me in a neighborhood that residents say is otherwise quiet.
I was peeking through the pickets, and all I could see was just police cars.
Donna Turner says she thought she heard gunshots Friday morning.
I had heard the shot, but then there's always so many.
She literally looks like the Wicked Witch of West. The Wicked Witch of the West. Like, seriously.
Well, hold up. You ain't heard that the Wicked Witch is a sister now?
Here's her broom. You see her broom right here? She's literally the wicked witch, yo. That's a witch. God damn, that's a real life witch.
Cars that come by here and they go pop, pop, pop.
The Williamson County Sheriff's Office blocked off this property on Jennifer Circle near County Road 110, just outside Georgetown city limits.
I started seeing all the Williamson County Sheriff's Department out here, and I was like, oh man, something bad's happened. And it did.
Deputies say they were responding to a 911 call reporting that someone had killed their roommate with physical violence. The sheriff's office identified Amadeo Ark as their suspect, charging him with felony family violence for the death of 36-year-old Megan Hood. They expect to enhance his charges.
I just can't believe it. When I built my house, in 1979, it was so quiet and peaceful. And would have never dreamed something like this would happen.
Law enforcement believes there is no ongoing threat to the public. In Williamson County, Lauren Rangel, Fox 7 Austin News.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department say at least 1,200 charges have been filed against 22 people across the state. They're accused of being involved in an illegal white-tailed deer breeding and smuggling scheme. Authorities discovered 3 breeding facilities, 10 release sites, a management pen, and 3 illegal facilities not registered with the Texas Wildlife Information Management Services database. Charges in this case include trap and transport violations, possession of wild deer and breeder facilities, lack of identifying tattoos or valid transfer permits, and taking white-tailed deer without landowner consent. Wildlife officials say the operation placed the entire state's deer population at risk of disease because of efforts to go around disease testing requirements. The names of the people charged in the case, the 11 counties where the cases have been filed, and the locations of the facilities have not been released. A manhunt is underway in North Texas for 2 capital murder suspects accused of.
Different. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't have that same, jump out and snatch you out of your fucking sleep feel to it.
It's boring. Ladders are boring.
And his 5-year-old daughter at a car wash in Forest Hill. Investigators are calling the attack a planned ambush. Fox's Dion England has the latest.
2 capital murder suspects are now identified and subjects of a manhunt.
They're scared. They're cowards. They're hiding.
Office began investigating Montgomery County Sheriff's Deputy Landon Slaughter in January of this year.
We received a tip from a concerned parent about her son in reference to him being exploited online and sexually abused online.
Captain Adam Cusses says Slaughter wasn't the only man allegedly abusing the teen.
We identified a number of other suspects that are involved in this case and abusing this child, and the deputy was identified through investigative processes.
How long do you believe the abuse went on?
We believe that it's been occurring since he was about 14 or 15 years old, and he is currently 17.
Do you think that did the defendants know each other or no?
We don't believe so. This was all done through social media, so it's kind of like using the dating apps and Facebook and Instagram and the chat applications.
Slaughter was charged with 1 count of online solicitation of a minor and 1 count of sexual assault of a child. Is the investigation still ongoing? Could more charges be filed?
So more charges are anticipated on Mr. Slaughter himself. And then, of course, we have a number of other suspects that are involved that we're still identifying, and more charges, obviously, on those suspects as well.
The captain says the teen may have had sexual encounters with as many as 10 men.
We need parents to be involved in their kids.
That team was out here. That team was out here doing his thing, man. I don't know, like, shit.
Doing what he wanted?
Yeah, man. He was out here. He was dating. He was on a dating scene, man. Yeah, damn.
And I can't even get a call back,
I'm telling you, man. Jeez. That team was out here, just out here. He was out here. Yeah, dog it, man.
3 gang members, prosecutors say, terrorized a neighborhood with violence, will now spend decades behind bars. The group convicted and sentenced for their roles in 3 murders and other shootings. Among the deadly shootings, investigators say they took the life of a completely innocent woman and a mother of 2. Our Kelly Rule reports.
Very sad and honestly very shocking.
Andrea Bishop says she can remember how she felt in the days after September 29th, 2021, when an innocent mother of 2 was killed here in her community. 21-year-old Chandra Jones, followed from a birthday celebration at a club, was shot to death in her car at 33rd and Diamond. 2 other women were injured. Today, the district attorney's office announced the conviction and sentencing of 3 members of the Big Natty gang, known as BNG, they say were responsible.
There were at least, based on ballistic evidence, 49 shots fired at that vehicle. It was not until the following day when they realized that they shot the wrong people.
The DA's office says Dante Sutton, Jameer Brunson-Gans, and Elijah Soto were hired by Jaleel Williams, the leader of another group, to commit the attack for $10,000 and got the wrong people. Investigators say Williams was indicted federally for homicide, among other charges. Sutton, Brunson-Gans, and Soto pleaded guilty to various charges, the DA's office says, and a judge sentenced them to decades behind bars. The DA making a statement on behalf of Chandra's aunt.
These 3 defendants who got these sentences were young guys who, rather than being mentored in a positive way, were manipulated by an older guy.
The 3 men are behind 2 other homicides, the DA's office says. The murder of Jarek Jenkins on September 18th, who prosecutors say was friends with someone in the area where there was a neighborhood feud, and the death of Jordan Murray on September 6th, which stemmed from an argument over Instagram.
While we cannot save the victims in this case, I'm confident that BNG would have continued their shooting spree until investigators made them stop.
Yeah, I'm confident in that too. Yeah, they never stop. They never just wake up one morning. You know what, guys, man? We done enough, man. We're up, man. Let's just
They hang up their hats. Yo,
the motherfuckers, they listen. There's no solutions to this stuff, man. Because the DA tried to say that they were manipulated by older guys, but so you can say that in that one shooting where they were paid to shoot the people and they accidentally shot up a car full of girls. But what about the other 2 murders that had nothing to do with that? Who manipulated them to do that?
Man. Yo, I would have been pissed if I paid these somewhere 10 grand and they fucked up the job.
And then snitched on me?
Oh man, I would have been pissed.
That's why the mob, remember, they don't really deal with Sunman hitmen, man. Not like that. Try to stay away from Sunman hitmen, man.
In a pot.
Jeez.
I think it's always a positive when justice is served. I still feel as though we do have some way to go to make our city more safe.
Prosecutors said today's announcement is just part of the investigation. They say there are 2 other BNG members still awaiting trial. Reporting in Center City, I'm Kelly Rule, Fox 29 News.
Last night was a very violent night in the city of Philadelphia. Police are investigating 5 separate shootings in just a matter of hours, leaving a total of 7 people hurt. One of those shootings was an apparent act of road rage, and today there is video of the alleged suspect. Action News reporter Walter Perez is live in the city's Parkside neighborhood near the scene of that alleged road rage shooting with new details. Walter.
That's right, Sarah. Police officials say they're not downplaying what happened last night, but they do say it was not a reflection of the trends across the city. This surveillance video reveals a road rage incident that served as a prelude to a shooting last night. Police are looking for this man with the beard in connection with the shootings of a 15-year-old boy and a 20-year-old woman along Girard Avenue in Parkside. This case was just part of what turned out to be a violent.
Got into a car with a 15-year-old boy and a 20-year-old woman. I guess they those motherfuckers could have been dangerous though. Yeah, they could have been in danger to him. That's like right at the age where they're like the worst, which is crazy. 15 to 20. Wow.
Violent night in the city that ended with 7 people injured during 5 separate shootings.
We have people in custody on at least 2 of them. We have very significant direction on a few others.
All of the shootings taking place between 6:30 p.m. and a bit past midnight. 2 occurred in West Philadelphia, another in Hunting Park. The road rage shooting took place in Parkside, and the 5th unfolded in North Philadelphia. All 7 of the victims survived, but 2 are hospitalized in critical condition. Deputy Commissioner Frank Van Orst says, despite last night's rash of violence, overall violent crime numbers are moving in the right direction.
Our clearance rate is up from last year, which was up significantly last year. So we're having a lot of success using technology, our video, to solve these cases. And we're hoping that all these last night will be solved.
According to the Action News data journalism team, over the past year, homicides have dropped 37%.
That's great, man. That's wonderful. In a black city, I mean, what more could you ask for, man? Let's be honest, man.
I mean, me and you both know it's going to be somewhere they're dead. The shooters are dead.
Yeah, but the porch, man, it's already some men always waiting to jump off the porch, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're not wrong.
So it's like, I mean, I think they're doing something right now. Can it last? Like, can it last? Because the weather's about to break. And you know, the sun, when the weather breaks, man, everybody, all races just start killing each other.
Yeah. But the sun community has like a jaunt. Like those initial days of warm weather, it's just like cabin fever. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's normal. I mean, once the weather gets warm, white people just start killing each other at massive, rates in public, and Asian people as well, and of course black people. We're no different.
Right, man.
No different. It's just normal. Shout out to Bug Off, man.
And shootings are down 32%. Abdul Karim Al-Salafi from the Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network says he's encouraged by the decrease in violence, but he is still deeply concerned about the number of perpetrators and victims who are teenagers.
We speak to the mothers or the parents and watch them break down, and something inside of us, humanity in us, we break down with them.
Now, there are more details about the individual shootings from last night on 6abc.com if you have any information that can help investigate.
Man. Rough out here, man.
Yeah, man, Blackistan is a very unforgiving place, man.
There's no place like it, man.
No place like home.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, Christ. I would just be like, oh wow. I don't mind. I don't blame people for keep trying to find solutions to this stuff. But I would just tell them, man, there is no solution.
Begin with a change in tactic for the Portland program that helps people experiencing a mental or behavioral health crisis. Mayor Keith Wilson is expanding when Portland's street response can step in. Alma McCarty was at City Hall today as a committee discussed the changes. So, Alma, give us a sense of how that meeting went today.
Well, Christine, overall, leaders at the committee for the community and public safety committee meetings supported expanding what PSR can do, but some are concerned about a plan to have PSR respond alongside police and other first responders, a move they worry could erode public trust in the street response program. Back in February 2021, the first Portland street response crew set out on their first shift.
It started as a pilot, very effective pilot, right?
And although various challenges threatened the future of PSR, supporters like Jackie Yerby stood firmly behind it, even starting a campaign to save it.
Felt like here's this very successful program that was in danger of not existing or being so kind of undermined and incapacitated that that people would wonder what the point was.
4 years on, renewed confidence in the now citywide operation, with the mayor announcing policy changes to expand the scope of Portland street response. On Tuesday, city councilors applauding the move.
PSR has just been so thoroughly handcuffed in previous iterations of their work that I think that these changes are the right changes at the right time.
These are things that staff has been asking for. So it's really being able to give them what they need to be able to do their jobs.
Beginning March 6th, teams can now shuttle clients to shelters, pantries, and sobering centers, can respond inside certain public places like lobbies of government buildings or stores and restaurants during business hours, and can co-respond alongside police, fire, and paramedics. That last change raised some questions.
I've heard some concerns from community as far as if I knew that there was a chance that police would come for a mental health crisis call, I wouldn't call 911 at all.
PSR's interim program manager, April Roa, explains the term co-response is a bit misleading.
What we're talking about is how can we get into the spaces where PSR needs to be to make sure that if a non-criminal outcome is possible, that we're able to help achieve that.
She explains some calls might come into dispatch as one thing, but end up warranting a different response. Like, for example, a trespassing call.
That just provides the opportunity for police to be able to call us in. And again, that warm handoff, turnover a scene test that's more appropriate to us.
Advocates for Portland street response want to make sure as the program expands, it's never part.
They just love having these crazy motherfuckers around, man. Some cities are like that, like liberal cities. They like just babysit crazy people and homeless people. And who wants to do that? Like it's just crazy, man. Let's see, man.
It's no secret, retail theft has been an issue throughout the Portland metro. And over the weekend, the Hillsborough Police Department made 13 arrests in a massive retail theft operation in the Tannisbourne area.
We are very, very thankful for the partnerships that we have not only with the local community, but the Washington County District Attorney's Office, because they do prosecute retail theft here in Washington County.
Jim Ruiz is with Hillsborough Police and says this was one of their top 10 most successful operations to date. And they in part have the Organized Retail Theft Grant Program approved by Oregon legislatures to thank.
Is useful to bring in officers that would typically be off during those times to come in and focus solely on the retail theft without having to put a burden on our patrol staff.
Those arrested ranged from ages 17 to 55, 7 of which had warrants out for their arrests, and 6 were charged with possession of a controlled substance.
And sometimes we'll locate stolen cars that these individuals are in possession of as well. So it's an avenue for us to address crime in general.
Hundreds of people took to social media to thank the officers for their work. And that was the same sentiment people shared.
Oh no, this is white. These are white people. This is a white town. Everybody here is white. You couldn't get this in a town with 10% black people. What's this? Hillsborough, Oregon? Let me see if I can verify that, man. Let me see if I can verify that, man. Let's see if I can verify that. You couldn't get that type of people thanking the police department for cleaning up the streets. You couldn't get that in a town with, even if you had 10% black people. We would poison the relationship between the police and the people. Just 10% of us, man. What's this, Hillsboro,
Not sure.
Oregon? Let's see demographics.
Yo, that last story though, I mean, if I was a cop, I like that shit. Let's work for me, man. Call the caseworkers right now. We out of here.
Let me see. Race. 2.7% black. Yeah, I told you. You can't. If they just had 8% of black people, man, you could never have this stuff happen.
But I mean, it would be impossible anyway because at the rate that some people litter. Forget about it.
Yeah, but thanking the police
as well. So it's an avenue for us to address crime in general.
Hundreds of people took to social media to thank the officers for their work. And that was the same sentiment people shared with me who were out shopping on Tuesday.
Yeah, the businesses are very thankful. Obviously, they recognize these problems. They see them on a daily basis, and they are concerned for the safety of their employees, safety of their customers. So they appreciate our patrols that we conduct just during our normal routine daily work, and obviously are very appreciative of these retail theft blitzes.
Reese says that his department is very happy with the outcome of this operation and they will continue them for as long as they can. Christine, back to you.
Daisy Caballero reporting for us live from Tanasbourne. Thank you, Daisy.
The fact that they got time to clean garbage is crazy in and of itself.
Oh man.
Yo, real quick, I don't know if you heard, right? But over here in Chicago, I think it was Sunday, right? You hear what happened downtown?
What happened downtown?
So Sunday, the weather was very nice. But you know what that means, right?
Right.
The Sun teams went downtown, do what they do, right? But I always say I come to Chicago for the pizza, stay because you got shot. So these Sun teams, in the mix of their chaos, they open fire. They hit a tourist.
Wow.
A tourist downtown walking with her kid got
Wow.
shot. Think about that. Now,
Yeah.
now a good mayor, a logical mayor, recognizes that cannot. You need to come down on that immediately, sternly. This son,
Yeah.
man, ain't gonna do that.
Dang.
Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that, but
Yeah.
that sounds about black.
Right. I mean, look, if the mayor's not, and again, our mayor he's retarded. If he's not willing to protect tourism, then what you doing?
Yeah, we've seen so much. We've seen so much of those kids. That we're gonna see this year downtown with the loop. And standing on cars, blocking traffic, twerking on police cars,
Mobbing people,
jumping people, surrounding people.
I've seen videos out of like foreign tigers, right? I think tigers from like across the pond, right? You know, they had that different feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Walking down around downtown Chicago and then just get engulfed in a sea of sun. And it's like, man, oh man, you know?
Oh yeah, I know.
And then again, you know, these little clowns, it's like they have an instinct on how to like sniff out weaknesses or easy targets that they could just steal off of, like hit them in their mouth, and then just keep going. You know?
Yeah, when it's a mob of them, everybody becomes an easy target.
True, true.
Any final words, man? Any final thoughts?
No, just I'm excited for the upcoming shooting season, 2025. My money always on the home team, Chicago. This our year, number one, baby. Called it. You heard it here first.
Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Subscribe.